Okay, guys, I actually saw one more article that I want to read out loud just before I head out. So, there was one about a ballerina that I thought was pretty cool too, but this is a letter from the editor, and there's something called T Magazine, which is spring design issue. It's a spring design issue which explores homes where creative work gets done, from a former agricultural commune near Berlin to a vibrant modernist fantasy in Los Angeles. So this is awesome. It says the stairway leading to the library and sleeping area on the third floor of Dan Vo's farmhouse, which has become somewhat of a cultural incubator for other artists. Wow, that's really nice. For an artist, home is not just a shelter. It's a studio, a refuge, a cabinet of secrets, a site of inspiration. That's true. It's where work gets done, work that will someday be released into the world, but also, just as crucially, work that will end up in the trash, literally or figuratively. Home is a place to experiment, to make mistakes, to be vulnerable. Home is a place where you never have to defend your creations. True. So, this is Chi's Spring Design Issue, a place to make art where creativity lives, from Los Angeles to the German countryside. Located on the grounds of a former agricultural collective an hour north of Berlin, that's in Germany, the artist Dan Vo's farmhouse brings together all kinds of creative talents. So there's 4 articles here. The second one, inspired by Nina Simone's invaluable legacy, the artists Rashid Johnson, Julie Maretsu, Adam Pendleton, and Ellen Gallagher decide to purchase and preserve her childhood home. That's actually really cool. It was a hands-on renovation of a couple's Greenwich Village apartment that prompted them to start designing home goods. The focal points of this Edwardian townhouse in northwest London, the eccentric bathrooms. There are just as many ways to make art as there is art itself, which is why there's no prototypical artist's house. Yet, say the phrase artist dwelling, and a few images burrowed into our subconscious are automatically conjured. The Soho loft with its coffee cans of paintbrushes, the ramshackle countryside estate with its splintering easels and pottery wheels, the Parisian poet's garret, candlelit and chilly and romantically bleak. I feel like we've seen all of these things in television shows and classic films, and we believe that all artists live like this. But why don't you actually try to create some art for yourself, whatever type of art it is that you create, and then see the way that you start to design your own space? Because you're just going to design for the type of artist that you are. Like if I'm trying to build an algorithm, or I'm going through like a design sprint or study, I designed my apartment to have simply a whiteboard and no furniture because that's the way I live. Or when I'm handling a family law case, I only have a fax machine and a bunch of paper because my life is centered around my work, whatever that work is. It's using your space to conform to what your current reality is. This is why you're constantly getting rid of shit and moving out shit that you don't need anymore. A real artist's house, however, is as singular and idiosyncratic as the artist who inhabits it. That's true. It's a 1962 modernist fantasy in mauve and plywood with views of Los Angeles designed by Eric Lloyd Wright, a grandson of Frank, and meant to feel like a cocoon for its chief inhabitant, the erotic writer Anais Nin. It is the modest, tidy North Carolina childhood house of the singer and activist Nina Simone, now being preserved by 4 black visual artists and declared a national treasure by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. It is the conceptual artist Dan Vo's farm in the countryside near Berlin, formerly a GDR agricultural collective, that he's resurrecting on his own terms as a retreat for artists of all kinds to come and make things whether those things are ceramics or sauerkraut. Check that out. A place to make art. The living room of Dan Vo's farmhouse in Banderberg, Germany. By definition, any place an artist lives, works, and dreams is an artist's house. We want to look inside because we hope seeing how they live will reveal something about how they think. But what makes an artist create art is very rarely visible. It's something they carry within them, something only they can see. The art lives in the house. The artist lives in the house, but the art lives in the artist. I agree. So this was written by Hannah Yanagihara. She's the editor-in-chief of T Magazine. And it looks like they have a roundup of what the chief is reading, because they have a newsletter. I don't think I'm interested in reading very much about design, but I did think that reading that was... Oh, this is nice. So there's something written in fashion on the 18th. That's today. Easygoing clothes in shades of cream and khaki. Cocooning knits and enveloping jackets in neutral hues are perfect for spring. I agree with that. So we've got some Alexander McQueen here. A YP coat. I don't know what Y Project is. I've never heard of that designer. Brioni. These are shot very well. Like that's an incredible shot. I love her braids. Wow, she's beautiful. That is a very nice coat as well. Oh wow. It's a kite jacket. Oh, the brand is Kite. Mason Margiela. Oh wow. Oh, Ruth B is going live on TikTok. Ooh. This is really cool. Okay, so at the bottom of this article, so this last piece is a Low dress from Low.com. It has dinosaur designs and bracelets. So all of the jewelry is pretty inexpensive. It looks like it's all under $100 from Dinosaur Designs. But the dress is very expensive. It looks like it's a polyester sort of material. I'm not sure who would wear that. And we're about to approach spring. What are we in, spring right now? Okay, so this is actually very cool. So it names the models. We've got Gloria Maria at Premier Models, Pramis Kuyumba with Elite, Emmanuel Adajai at Next Model Management, and Shaden at Select Model Management. And we have some casting directors. Lisa Dempf Megans. We have a production studio and a hair studio. So with the production, we've got LG Studio. The set design is by Tobias Blackmore. Hair is by Shamara Roper at Future Rep. The makeup is by Megumi Matsuno. There's a manicurist here. Keon Gradison. There's photo assistants. Ibrahim Azab, Joseph Mosley, and style assistants. Farhat Rodolplu, Emily Gleason, and a hair assistant, Donika Campbell, and a makeup assistant, Saya Toshido. Now, I'm just saying because I am especially into fashion, and I will go a little bit deeper on this possibly in another film, but all of the women in my family have been very much so into fashion. My mother as well. But for me, I was always into performing arts. Now, performing arts and fashion are not the same. Fashion is more about the clothes. It's just about the clothes and how you wear the clothes, how you look in the clothes, how the clothes make a statement depending on where you are going. So it's understanding how to dress for a particular location or event and how good you look in what you decided to wear. Now, all of those decisions, how I read out the name of everyone on the team who contributed to those looks, all of those people have particular skill sets. Like knowing how to do nails is not the same as knowing how to manicure eyebrows, is not the same as knowing how to style hair, is not the same as knowing how to select shoes, which like style assistants would do, is not the same as knowing how to actually design and create a dress. All of those people have different jobs and roles in the sense of fashion. Now, performing arts is something different. This is why I tried to make the distinction. Like, I've been in performing arts school my entire life. I went to arts school. As in, like, you can go to fashion school. Fashion school is a thing. Performing arts school is a different thing, though. These are people who are on stage. So there's also different types of performing arts. I studied dance. But even within dance, there are different genres of dance. There's like West African dance, East African dance. There are what is now big Afro-Haitian dance, samba. There's like Latin fusion dance, salsa, ballet, modern, Horton jazz. There's some contemporary. All of those styles are hip hop, right? All of those styles are different styles in the one performing art cluster dance. That is what I studied my whole life. But other people have studied vocal music or like singing. And even in there's like choir singing for church, opera, right? There's so many different styles of vocal music performing art. Then there's theater, right? So you have people who do Broadway. Those are like plays, play adaptations. You could think of like Grease was a play at one time, Chicago, a very popular play, Hamilton, right? A very popular play now. Those are like plays and theater live. Then you have like films, which is like all of the things that you see on when you go to the movie theater, Spider-Man. But then there's even genres in that. There's thrillers, horror, drama, action, foreign films. Now we've got like this like young adult. There's so many, different categories in this. And you could be a character actor, meaning, thank you so much, that you pick one of those genres and you only do films in that one genre. Like that could be something that is true for you. And then there are other things. There are people who are into production. So those are people who control like lighting, graphics during the show, the sound, the audio, technicians, things like that. And sometimes things in that nature fall into like audio engineers. And so if you're thinking about music, maybe you have like the vocal music performance, but then you have like that set DJ person who is controlling all the sound and the beats and how they transition in and out from song to song. That's like a whole job and career too, where you have like audio technicians. There's whole programs for that now. And then you have like, directors. I think we're starting to see a little bit more of that, where people are studying cinematography, but they actually want to create video music, like music videos. So what they are like, so many music videos come out every day. So those are like video editors and people who do that type of work. So those are things. And yeah.